Hello and welcome to Politics on Sunday. I am Femi Akonde. Well, the presidential election and the National Assembly election has been won and lost. Likewise, the governorship and state houses of assembly election. Today on the program, I'll be doing a post-mortem of this election with the Governor of Katsina State, Right Honorable Aminu Bello Masari. Welcome to the program, sir.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Well, sir, we're doing a post-mortem of the election, and before we had an interview with you, I think about 2 months ago, you were very confident that your party will win. Well, I should say congratulations on the victory of your party at the presidential and at the state level. You predicted victory for your party, but you didn't think it would be a tough one.
Well, not that I didn't think it would be a tough one, but I knew then that we would overcome the hurdles. And I told you that the PDP candidate, a formidable opponent, a veteran of presidential contest, an experienced politician, you cannot easily wish him away. But I know at the end of the day, APC will come on top, and it did. What we did not anticipate or expected at that time was the candidate of Labour Party.
Yeah, indeed.
He was not really part of the equation when the whole process started, until later when he came in, and his coming in did not help the polity. It further polarized the polity along ethnic and religious lines. And, so that was what we did not expect, that it would be so open, so brazen, and not good for the country.
But he also came third with about 6 million plus votes, and people are saying that that is a political force that has come to stay and would give the dominant political parties a run for their money.
I don't think it is a political force, really. It was an event, and it has come and gone. We're talking about a party that is formidable on ground, not a candidate that is popular. Look at the history of elections. Take General Muhammadu Buhari then. When he contested in 2003, he contested in 2007, he contested in 2011. In each election, he won more than 10 million votes. And he won more than 12 states. But he couldn't make it to the presidency because the structures of a political party were absent in many parts of the country. So when you say, even if you could remember, at that time I told you that there was no way Konkoso could make it to president because he had no structures. Structure is very important in politics, especially when it comes to contesting election. A popular candidate can ride on weak structure and show popularity on those areas he is popular. But when it comes to nationwide, you will find that the popularity cannot take him to the office of the president. We saw it in, like I said, in General Muhammadu Buhari. So what Peter Obi did on Labour Party, it was done on APGA, on PPP, and it all fizzled away. Now, for you to understand that formidability you are talking about, what was the performance at a governorship level? If the party is a formidable party. So the reality is, yes, he took advantage of a wave, and he rode on the wave, and the wave has come and gone. Even if the wave will be available tomorrow, you don't know who will be riding on the wave. So it's not the formidable party structures in this country, APC and PDP, whether one likes it or not.
You talked about some kind of sentiment. You say he whipped up and the wave he rode on. How dangerous is this to Nigerians?
Well, I think it shows that we have not grown out of politics of the 60s. Because where were the areas Labour Party won? Really were areas that were won by MPP in 1979, leading to 83. These were the same areas. And if you could remember, what was the performance of NCMC in Western Nigeria in the first election?
Well, it was a huge shock to many when during the presidential election, it was declared that the APC lost in Lagos State, the APC lost in Kano State, and another big shock was that the APC lost in Katsina State, the home state of President Muhammadu Buhari.
You see, yes, it wasn't a surprise. It wasn't a surprise.
So did you see that coming?
Because the regional sentiment whipped before, and the odds against APC, this currency redesign really affected performance of the APC. And whether it was done by Emefiele or by anybody, people see it as done by APC government. And the longer petrol queues that surfaced suddenly. And in this area, you could remember that at the week of the presidential election, over 80 people were killed in 2 local governments of Bakori and Kankara. And still, APC was able to win that local government for the presidential and for the Senate. Because of internal conflicts, we lost the House of Reps in that area. So there were many factors, many hurdles in front of APC, but God in His mercy made it possible for APC to overcome them and win the presidency. So whipping up these sentiments with all these problems that are being associated with APC. So when a presidential candidate of PDP won with 6,500 difference, while we won the 3 Senate seats, 9 House of Representatives, how can you say APC lost? We won. Because we, in the northwestern zone of this country, were the highest contributors to National Assembly, and to some extent in the northern part of the country. So how can we say well, in the tally of the vote, and we know some of the people very close to us betrayed us in the government. That's why immediately after that we sacked them.
I was going to ask what prompted your sudden cabinet reshuffle after the presidential election.
Yes.
So it's
because they have betrayed us. They have betrayed the trust that we gave them. So there was no reason for them to be holding politically office given by the government, because they were not civil servants. They are politically appointed. So you cannot openly bite the finger that is feeding you, and you think that the finger will remain in your mouth, you continue to no.
Some people say there is always an action before a reaction. That could it also be that over time they have lost faith in the All Progressives Congress? That is why they decided...
They would have left the party. The most honorable thing to do is leave. You can't stab somebody in the back. Because that's what they did.
Well, that's politics, they say.
Is it?
Well, they say that's politics. It's about interest in politics.
It's not about... Oh, look, you declare it. Yes, if it is interest, declare it. We are talking about betrayal. You are now talking about interest. Yes, I have an interest. Let me declare my interest and opt out and pursue my interest. What is wrong with that? There is nothing wrong with that. Anybody holding political appointment can walk into this and say he's leaving. Nobody forced him into it. So he has the right to leave. But he has no right to betray without punishment. For every action, there has to be reaction.
But why does it seem as if the result of the presidential election is heavily contested in the courts? We're also seeing protests on the streets. Why is it difficult for the opposition and the candidates that lost out to concede?
Well, you see, you people in Abuja and the Lagos, and let me tell you, I've been in Abuja for quite some time. I know there is Center for Recruitment of protesters, and there is Center for Petition Writers. What more of Lagos? Lagos is mini Nigeria. Everybody is there. So what is the big deal? That is the beauty of democracy. If they express, demonstration is part of the democratic process. So if they peacefully express their disagreement, fine. Then let them do so. That they have every right to express themselves. But ultimately, when the declaration is made, it is only the courts that can overturn declaration.
And it appears as if a lot of them are not even exploring that avenue. And even comments we have seen from some of these candidates are disparaging the court. They don't even think they will get justice in the court. Has it become that bad?
Well, I think historically, to the best of my knowledge, there was only one election that was contested, won, and never challenged in court. That was 2015, when President Jonathan conceded to President Muhammadu Buhari without going to court. Besides that, tell me any election that did not end in court.
But this time, a lot of people are casting aspersions at the electoral body, INEC, pointing fingers, saying INEC jeopardized
have you
the process.
In the I think let's even start from 79. Was there any time the loser did not accuse the umpire? I was also in a position that I accused the umpire. At a point when I lost it, like I accused the umpire. So it is, you see, you are talking if there is anything abnormal, then you can talk about it. But for us, Nigerian politicians, once we lose, it is bad. When we win, it is good.
Well, but it appears as if the mindset of these politicians is now being sold to the people. People are now generally speaking that, oh, indeed, INEC did not perform creditably well.
Well, you see, before you say INEC did not do this or that, did you go to the poll? Most of the people who sit and criticize never voted. So how did they know what happened? And the INEC never said they will perform magic. They are not magicians. They are human beings like you and me. And substantially, they have complied with the rules of the game and acted on them. So anybody who is dissatisfied, the courts are there for him to explore and prove his case.
But if you look at, this is the first time Nigeria is having a large number of registered voters, about 93 million. But look at the turnout in the election. It was low, even here in Katsina State, less than 50%.
You see, not everybody registered to vote. But some registers because it serves as an identity for them. Some registered because most of the people, especially government and institutions and public places, normally requires an identity. Those who do not have identity cards, this is a means of identifying somebody. And those who are doing empowerment also is a way to encourage people to have a sense of belonging.
But in 2009, you won your re-election with more than 1 million votes, including the presidential election. APC got more than 1 million votes from Katsina, and those were not the new registrations that we have now. Where did all of that balance go?
You see, look, how many people registered to vote in Lagos?
About 5 million plus.
How many really voted?
Less than 50%.
You see, urbanization also affects people who are urbanized, who feel they have things to do, they have places to go, do not care about election. It is the people in the states and local government that care more about election because it affects their daily life. So as we move, our social standard improving, you will see certainly decline in those kind of expectations. There may be another round of sensitization which will bring back the majority of the elites to be voting. You ask yourself, look at Lagos, look at Kano, with 6 million votes, registered voters, and those voting are not up to 1.5 million. So if you do pro rata rationing, you find that even Katsina perform better. Because if we have 3.2 million voters, and in the presidential, we have over 1 million people who voted. In the governorship election, about 1.3 to 1.4 million people voted. So if you take it with the Lagos, Kano, and seeing that, you find that we have done very well in terms of coming out to vote. Comparatively.
Yeah. Some people also blamed the cash crunch, the Naira redesign policy.
Yeah, it has, yes, really it has frustrated many people. That's why I said it has even affected some of our fortunes.
But another question is, how did a man who is not on the ballot become the biggest opponent of the ruling party on the ballots?
Who, like who?
The CBN governor. Lots of people will point fingers at him.
Because he came up with a policy that negatively affected APC.
Under an APC government?
Yes. He came up with a policy that negatively affected APC. Whether it was deliberate or I cannot even say that he is intelligent enough to understand the consequences of his action.
Well, Your Excellency, your administration is rounding up by May 29. You'll be leaving office. So my question is, how have you acquitted yourself in the service to the people of Katsina State? That's in the 8 years that you have been in charge.
Well, I think that is left to the people to pass judgment. But as for me, I made promises right from 2015, coming 2019. Even though I have not fulfilled all those promises 100%, but like I told you before, all the promises that I made, I have done something on them. Because lack of sufficient resources, the issue of insecurity has made it part of our resources diverted to fight this banditry and the insurgency. And also the fall in the world market price of crude oil also affected the revenue coming to states. So all those things I think that have really affected negatively our performance in terms of those promises we made. And came rude intervention of COVID. The rude intervention of COVID that stopped the whole world also affected us. So you can see that, but on the basis of that, we came up with an agenda, a restoration agenda, and we have touched every point that we have promised to do, we have done.
Oh. Okay, which sector would you say your administration has really performed? Yes, you say it touched all sectors, but there must be some certain sectors that...
We paid attention greatly on education. It has paid off. Because today, as at last WAEC and NACON examinations, NACON we have about 81%. In WAEC we have over 69%. Those who 5 credits, that include English. And when we came, it was 11%, 19%. So the difference we have made in education sector is clear.
Okay, did this also impact on the number of out-of-school children, including enrollment of girl child?
You see, when we came, the enrollment was 1.1 million. And today, we have a population of 2.2 million pupils in primary schools. And we have enhanced, we have taken from DFID the program of training women. We have over 1,000 women in NC doing NCE in Dusuma, Isaka College of Education, so that they will go back to their rural communities. Likewise in the health sector. Go and see our hospitals today. Compare, the pictures are there, what we made and what we did. The number of doctors we made, the number of nurses we made, what we have today. Likewise in the water sector. What we did is clear. That from 1974 to date, the source of supply to Katsina was never empty, it has gone down. But today, the waterworks is a brand new one, producing maximum capacity that is designed to produce S874, because all the pumps, all the clarifiers, all the filter beds, all the chemical dosing pumps, the booster station, everything is new. And with the addition of 70 cubic meters, 70 million cubic meters of water we are having from Zobe, from the federal government. Also, we are pumping a lot of water into Katsina. In fact, we have laid foundation for the next stage of upgrading of Katsina water supply to reach these outskirts.
Excellency, many outgoing governors, some of them are going to the Senate, some of them have other political plans. You're not going to the Senate, you're not going to the National Assembly. What's your plan when you leave office?
Well, I think I said so. I'm not retiring totally from politics, but I said I have retired from contesting any elective office again. I was in the National Assembly as Speaker. So what is the big deal of going there as a senator again? It wasn't a big deal. In the party, I was Deputy National Chairman now.
But some people feel contesting for elective positions keeps the politician active and relevant in politics.
It doesn't give you relevance. What gives you relevance is yourself. This is what you do. That will give you relevance. The relevance, I think, some people want to belong whether for good or for bad. I want to belong for good.
You vigorously campaigned for Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and indeed he's the president-elect now, and by May 29 he'll be sworn in as president and commander-in-chief of the armed forces. What should Nigerians look forward to from the Tinubu-Shettima presidency?
You know, like I said when we were campaigning, he had the credentials. He had the pedigree. He has done it before. Lagos is a mini Nigeria. Lagos, where you will find Kazunama as a commissioner, and Imoman a commissioner, and Oshunman a commissioner, everybody. Anybody who administered Lagos successfully and laid the foundation for the infrastructural development of Lagos to what it is today. If he can transform Lagos, he can also transform Nigeria. See, so I without any reservation, I only pray for him, for his success, good health, and enough energy to carry us along.
All right then. After all said and done and you leave office, what will you miss as governor?
Well, I think what I should have said, will I enjoy for not being a governor? I think I am eager to be myself.
So what will you enjoy for not being governor?
I want to be myself. I want to drive myself. I want to go places I used to go. I want to visit friends. I want to visit relations. I want to go to the market. I go to my farm freely, but now I can't.
I was stopping you from moving freely as a governor. You are the governor, you can go anywhere you want to.
But the retinue of security that are driving people away, clearing way for you. Can you call that freedom? It's not. It's a prison in a way.
But a lot of people would die to be in that kind of prison.
That is the lot. It's not mine. Because for me, once I get job, I start looking for the door to leave. So I am eager for the 29th of May to come. Here, if he doesn't like me, it is only me he doesn't like. He likes the program of APC, of which at least there is a convergence point between me and him, the APC. But that one, I have no convergence point for him. If he say he likes me, if I die tomorrow and go, whom will he like? I'll not be there for him to like. And so I think system is always better than individuals. System outlive individuals. Individuals come and go. Even in this new office, I'm the second governor. If you come in June, you will meet the third. If you come after 8 years, you will meet the fourth. And the room will be here. The doors will be here. Everything will be here.
Certainly, if politicians adopt this kind of principle, Nigeria will be a better place and politics will be an interesting game.
Yes, why not?
Right. Thank you so much, Your Excellency, for your time on the program. Well, that's our conversation with His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Katsina State, Right Honorable Aminu Bello Masari, telling us about the presidential and governorship election in the state. And indeed, he's glad that his party, the All Progressives Congress, won that election. And he's also looking forward to life after office. That's all for the program this week. My name is Femi Akonde. See you next time.